students of Kabbalah in the world are Christian, maybe 3–4% are Muslim, and the other 6% are Jews. 90%. Going back to their old tradition in the 13th century as a Christian Kabbalist. There's always a process. Even this wisdom has a process. It needs to go through its revelation. Information today is available anyway. Go online, Google anything. From A to Z, you could go to Wikipedia, you could, anything you want to know, instantly you could find out. And then instantly share it with friends. Twitter, Facebook, or there's like a Russian Facebook, I forgot what it's called. Like, there's like, right, Facebook's not as popular here. They have their own social networking site. But instantly, if you find something that's inspiring, a wisdom you learn, or something you like, a book you read, a movie you saw, you could tell all your friends instantly. Just 5 years ago, if you wanted to tell them, you had to email. That's very last century. Or 15 years ago, you had to call someone. And 50 years ago, you actually had to meet someone in person or send them a letter to share information. Today, not only can you access the information online in seconds, but you could share it with friends in seconds. You could share it with people you casually know. I have people, friends on Facebook and on Twitter, I've never met. And you could instantly share with them. So, the evolution of knowledge, the evolution of knowledge has gone through its process as well. And that is why today, something that the great revelation 2,000 years ago happened to 10 people. In 10 seconds, if I had my phone on me right now, I could message, and thousands of people around the world will get a message. And just 2,000 years ago, you would have to physically talk to someone. The next concept that I wanted to share with you is the law of cause and effect. Seems like we all know that every cause has an effect. No matter what we do, one action affects another action. But what's very interesting about the law of cause and effect is that just like every cause has an effect, and every cause includes in it the effect, right? The seed includes every single part of the tree. Now, the sperm and the egg include every single eventual cells of the human body. But what's interesting is that the effect also includes with it the cause, right? A fruit, you cut open the fruit, and you find the seed again. This process that we talked about in the beginning, going from life as usual to overcoming and knowing what we want and going to get it, right there is inclusive our next phase. And it's every single, what we go through, always there's level one, and when we overcome that, and we sort of are working on one part of our life, then we need to make sure we're continuously work. We weren't put on this planet. We weren't meant to be put on this planet to to just survive. Just survive and cope with the world around us. This world was created to be perfect. Not that there's certain streets you can't walk on. There's certain places you go and you can't drink the water. If you go on vacation to Africa, or you go to Mexico, and there's different places in the world you can't drink the water. There's different places you go to in the world and you can't swim in the ocean from contamination. The world that we see, the imperfect world that we see, wasn't the world the way it was meant to be created for. Yes, the world wasn't created perfect, but we were given the tools to make it perfect. Part of our job as students, forgetting about Kabbalah for 1 second, as students of life, is to achieve a perfection personally and then being part of helping the world achieve perfection. Because each one of us, when we were born imperfect, heredity, DNA, you know, we have diabetes because our father had, or a heart condition, or a liver condition from the father, the mother, the grandfather, the grandmother, right? Our DNA, we're born contaminated. Heredity, we're born contaminated because of the environment we live in, right? We're not created perfect. And if we did nothing to change it, we would probably go down that same path. It's just science, our DNA. You know, you could go now and you take a swab of saliva, you send it to a lab, 4 to 6 weeks later, you get a printout. You know exactly your potential risks, your potential this, the good stuff, the bad stuff, in seconds. Information is available. If we don't do anything to correct it, we're going to follow that path. But we do have the power to perfect our DNA. When we're born basically in pieces, we're born with a puzzle that's broken into pieces. And sometimes it doesn't make sense, right? I have 5 kids, and they love to do puzzles. And sometimes if the picture has things that look similar, it's very hard to determine which piece goes where. But an hour, 2, 3 hours later, or if it's a really complicated piece, sometimes it takes us, like, collectively, like a week. to one of these very complicated ones, right? At some point, the picture starts becoming more and more clear. And the more you put it together, the clearer it becomes. Even though our DNA, we come into this world unperfected. We're given those pieces that we put together. We could get a complete picture.